How's it going, everybody? So a lot of people have asked me to comment on the Nolan Arenado deal, where he was traded to the Cardinals for prospects and $50 million was sent along the way because his contract is so humongous. Nolan Arenado is obviously one of the best third basemen in baseball, if not the best. Great defensive player, great arm, and obviously a very good hitter, although some of that is due to Coors Field. But the Rockies have never won a World Series. Since their inception in 1993, they've made the playoffs 5 times, and the closest they got was being swept by the Boston Red Sox in 2007. When they made the playoffs in 1995, they loaded up on big-time hitters, guys like Dante Bichette, whose son now plays for the Toronto Blue Jays, and whose other son was actually drafted by the Yankees but never made the major leagues. Despite the addition of a humidor, which is meant to offset some of the effects of the thin air at the high elevations in Colorado, a lot of pitchers just don't like to pitch in Colorado. It's got a humongous outfield, and the thin air does affect your breaking ball, makes it not as sharp. And you might be saying to yourself, well, why does a bigger outfield affect the pitchers? Because they had to move the fences back so deep to prevent all of these excess home runs due to the atmosphere that the outfielders have to play deeper, which means that there's more bloopers and things like that that drop in for hits. Imagine you're a pitcher and you make a really good pitch and you break a guy's bat and it bloops in there over the shortstop and it ends up being a double. You made a good pitch, but you gave up a double. That affects your confidence out there, and if I'm a pitcher, I don't want to play in that park and make most of my starts in that park, which gave me an idea. If I were the general manager of the Rockies, I would tell my scouts to find the weirdest pitching motions, the most deceptive pitchers, knuckleballers, guys who throw submarine, guys who throw sidearm, and just mix up my bullpen and rotation with the weirdest pitchers I can find. Sacrifice stuff for making hitters uncomfortable, and then fill your lineup with guys who've been cast aside from other teams that have lots and lots of power. I like what they did with Matt Kemp. I think somebody like Mike Ford on the Yankees would be a tremendous addition to Colorado. They could go get somebody like a Yasiel Puig, and he would be outrageously good in Colorado. Fill up your lineup with guys who can just absolutely mash, and then fill up your rotation with guys who are funky and difficult to hit. Look, I'm not going to pretend that I know as much about the Rockies as I do about the Yankees, but I will say this. I've been watching baseball for about 33 years, and I've been playing baseball for about the same amount of time. And I know that funky pitchers with weird deliveries and weird arm angles and knuckleballers and things like that, they might not have long-term success, but they can stymie a lineup one trip through the order. So if you fill up your team with all sorts of weird guys, it can take the opposing hitters, a few at-bats to really catch on. And in a park that allows runs the way that Colorado does, holding your opponents at a disadvantage for an inning or two really could make the difference. So I don't see why the Rockies just don't try that. Get guys who have windups like El Duque or relief pitchers that have deliveries kind of similar to Darren O'Day, whom the Yankees just signed. I don't see why the Rockies just don't give that a chance and then go out and get as many big bats as you can. And you don't even really need expensive ones. You just need really strong hitters who can make contact and put the ball in the air. That's why I think that Mike Ford would be an amazing pickup for Colorado. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel.